Do not attempt to adjust your device screen. We are in control of the broadcast. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. The time has come. Please stand by for a live transmission from Halloween Daily News. Yes, it is that time. That's right, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Hello, Haddonfield, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this mid-October fall festival of flesh and fear that you just found yourself in the middle of is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live. Our gathering, our celebration of the shape, our conversation on all things shape, all things Myers, and all the latest news coming out of Haddonfield, and lots more. So, if you're new, thanks for hanging out. I hope you'll hang out with us and participate in the live chat. And to everybody else, all of our returning friends, what is up, you guys? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Man, it's good to see you guys. It has been a week, and I say it all the time, but we survived another week, just like Laurie Strode surviving another Halloween. We've survived another Monday, and we are stronger for it. So that in itself is reason to celebrate. I got some warm green tea with lemon to get me going here tonight that I'm sipping on in my Michael Myers mug. And I think we got a fun one for you guys tonight. We do have a couple news bites, but it's a relatively light news week. So our main discussion tonight is going to be one that I've kind of teased and talked about doing before, but we are going to be talking about all of the characters throughout the 13 Halloween franchise movies that have at some point or another tried on one of Michael's own masks. Yes, Corey Cunningham did it most recently, but he was definitely not the first. There are a lot more than you might be thinking of, as a matter of fact. So we're going to be talking about them and going through and discussing those scenes and those characters and what was going on there. Speaking of which, Michael Myers himself in the live chat, chiming in silently, of course, stalking, as it should be. Thank you for being here, Michael. Um, Also in the live chat, I see our friend Dave Suber has lit up his pumpkins, as has Phil. Jason Yost is here as well. An illustrious channel member, Fall Guy Halloween here. Yeah, you're going to love that movie, I think. Especially the vibes. Like you said, you're already getting it. Yeah, great Halloween vibes. I don't want to spoil anything. It's a really good movie. I'm probably going to rewatch it this month. Actually, I watched it last month before interviewing the director and the lead. Check out the interview after you watch the movie. Megan checked in earlier as well. Happy Michael Myers Monday. David Hyam, what's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Appreciate all your support as well. Excellent. Good to see everybody in here at our slightly earlier than traditional start time, but this has been working for us the last couple of weeks. Kind of worked with my schedule a little bit better to do it this way, just a couple hours earlier. So appreciate y'all coming out of the cave just a couple hours sooner than maybe our traditional 10:31 time. Now, before we get into the main news and the main discussion of tonight's program, I do want to remind you guys, as I always do, but this is a special one because if you order anything from our online store this week, you still got plenty of time to have it in hand before October 31st. And I say that because we actually have a couple of these beautiful, gorgeous HN's Myers masks in stock right now by Trick or Treat Studios. A couple 2018s and a couple kills as well. You can complete your trilogy set if you haven't yet. And because you're watching Michael Myers Monday, use code MMCrew15 to get 15% off. I only talk about that here during these Monday night live streams just for you guys. We don't normally offer that big of a discount publicly, but we love you guys. So MMM and then the word crew, CREW, triple M crew 15 is the code, and you can get 15% off masks like this officially licensed Halloween ends. And also, if you love vintage Halloween and you love Michael Myers, well, then you probably already own this. But if you don't, I've talked about this before, but it's been a while since I've showed them off. This is the posable Michael Myers vintage wall decor piece. He is one of, believe it or not, 6 pieces that come in this set. You get 6 pieces. This is the only one that moves like this. He's posable like the old school skeletons. But it comes with 4 other pieces, some of which you can see behind me in my office. But it's just $12 for the entire set, guys. And again, you can use that code MMM15 and get 15% off that. So we're talking a couple dollars to get this wicked vintage set. And we've got lots more. We've got H3 sets, H4 sets. I think we got a couple Trick or Treat sets left. Maybe just a very few Universal Monsters sets. So check that out. Lots of other cool stuff, collectibles, merch, action figures, Lori and Michael H2 figures. Anything we got in stock at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. It's 15% off just for you guys when you use code MMM15 shop. This guy is awesome. He's like over 2 feet tall. It's about 31 inches tall. So cool. Made by Sugar Treat Studios. Definitely captures the vintage vibes that I'm always talking about on here. You guys know I love that. And again, just to have the shape as he might have been produced circa 1978 if Michael Myers was a marketable IP in 1978. So check out all those items. The link is in the description, and if you just go to HalloweenDailyNews.com, you can just hit the shop link right there in the menu, and that'll take you right in there. Jason already owns that piece. Like I said, a lot of you probably do already own these pieces. They're not new releases by any means. That being said, we are going to take a look at a couple merch updates. Believe it or not, we are still getting merch updates right up to Halloween itself here in mid to almost late October. So we are going to pull that up here and look at just a couple very small news bites to snack on here. And actually, guys, I want to make sure I say it correctly. The code is triple M15. That's all you got to do. Just triple M15. You don't got to put the word crew in there. I had to double check. It's MMM15, triple M15 to get that 15% discount. Apologies for saying it incorrectly a minute ago. All right. So our first brief news item that I want to bring to your attention in our never-ending quest to keep you updated on all sorts of Myers merch as it becomes available. The talented, mad geniuses over at Cavity Colors are unleashing their own tribute to the Rob Zombie films. Tomorrow, actually, launching a new Halloween 07 and Halloween 209 double feature collection. That's going to include premium tees, long sleeves, zip-up hoodies, and limited time glow-in-the-dark H1 and H2 promo tees. And that is dropping tomorrow as we record this, Tuesday, October 14th at 5 p.m. Eastern. Might want to jump on that if you're a fan of those films. Also want to bring you guys a heads up. Our friend Dag Fairk, speaking of Rob Zombie's Halloween, great Dag himself. You know, he's always dropping new music. And this October, he's been dropping artwork based on his kills in Rob's Halloween. And his most recent song, it's called Killa, Killa. And, well, as you might imagine, it's about Michael Myers. And here's a little bit of the official video. You can see Dag kind of paying tribute to his Myers past right there in that first shot. He's wearing a clown mask, and he's got the knife. Having a lot of fun here with his Halloween drop. And if you're into rap, you definitely want to check it out if you like Dag's music. Here, I'll play just a little bit of it for you. Let's see. Here, let's see if you can hear a little bit. Saw a Ghostface devil mask in there. A lot of familiar faces. All right, so I'm not going to play the whole thing here, but this is the music video. It is out here on YouTube, and the song, it's on Spotify or wherever you stream your music. It's called Killa, and it's literally Michael Myers doing a song he wrote about Michael Myers. All right, check it out. Also, if you haven't heard, now this is not Myers specific, but it does have to do with John Carpenter. So anything to do with John Carpenter is newsworthy here on Michael Myers Monday. But here's an official trailer that was released today by Storm King Productions, and they actually use the Halloween theme in this trailer. But this is for John Carpenter's Tales for Halloween Night Volume 11. This is the annual comic graphic novel anthology collection that John Carpenter and Sandy King have been putting out every year, well, for the past decade. And this is this year's collection of terror tales, and including an all-new story written by John Carpenter himself. Now, they were kind enough to supply me with a digital version of the comic. I have not had a chance to dig into it yet. I'm going to be reading the Carpenter story first, and I do plan to review it and report back to you guys on my thoughts on that once I do. So within the next week, hopefully, I'll get that done, and then we will dig into that for next week's Michael Myers Monday Live. And in other news out of Haddonfield, this is pretty cool. Posted on Instagram just a few days ago. Brian Moss, he worked on the Halloween trilogy with David Gordon Green and Blumhouse. And he has routinely, in recent years, just over the years, shared some amazing behind-the-scenes photos from his time on set. And he just shared a bunch of new, previously unseen, really cool behind-the-scenes photos from these films that I just want to make sure, if you haven't seen them, there's some really cool stuff in here. And and then right there, if you look over in the comments, you can see Mr. Rowan Campbell himself commented a day ago, "Miss you, love you." So what I love about this photo here, and again, that looks like the flashback mask, maybe. So I guess this is from Kills, it appears. But look at that vintage pumpkin decoration in the background. Talk about vintage wall decor. That's exactly what Trick or Treat did with their licensed wall decor. Was they made modern versions made to look like those vintage posable. I think that's posable right there as well. So let's look at these other ones. Here's the great James Jude Courtney. Looks amazing right there. I believe that is on the set of Kills. Yeah, and here's more from that flashback sequence, The Shape, 1978. Yeah, Brian worked in the hair and makeup department. See our friend Candace Rose from Halloween Ends also chimed in with a comment on here. Very cool. Look at this. One of Laurie's wigs. Some familiar Haddonfield residents there. Andy Matichek and Cameron. Who played Cameron? I was going to say Miles Robbins, but no, it's Look at this, burning down Lori's house. And look at James Hugh Courtney right there, dead center. I know it's really small for you guys, but man, that's an awesome shot of James right there as Michael in front of that burning house. And the fact that they really burned that house, that's so cool. Sick. Kyle Richards' wig for reprising Lindsay. Very cool. Great shot of these two young lovers. That is a really good photo of the two of them. There's Mr. Rowan Campbell. There's Candace Rose, speaking of her, from the set of Ends. Check out my interview with Candace if you haven't already. It was a great conversation. It's a great behind-the-scenes shot of her. Allison in her black cat mask. I think we might actually have one of those black cat masks still in stock in our online store as well, if one of you want to snatch that up. I would love for it to go to one of you guys. Great shot of Kyle Richards as Lindsay. We've been there in Savannah, Georgia. Lori's new house. Man, some of these shots are just priceless. That's a great shot of Kyle Richards there. Darcy the Mail Girl, about to do her cameo in Ends. And such an iconic shot there, kind of reprising Lori with Tommy and Lindsay. That moment from the original film in those promo shots. How cool is that? Like I was saying, we have a few of those, I think one, maybe two of those Allison Black Cat masks from Ends in stock. After watching that clip that I played last week of Christopher Nelson talking about the Silver Shamrock plans and connections to Kills and Ends and what they were originally thinking, and you know, I said in that, and he agreed with me that as far as we're concerned, the canon, the head canon anyway, is that Corey's Scarecrow and Allison's cat mask are in fact Silver Shamrock masks, because that was at one point the actual plan. Speaking of which, have you guys seen since then, like in the last week, Blade Disgusting ran a article that's been shared all over the halosphere of the interwebs, and basically Jamie Lee Curtis was interviewed for this new book about Blumhouse, and she talks a little bit about the original ending for Ends, which would have ended at the Silver Shamrock factory. And a lot of people are sharing it and reporting it as Jamie Lee Curtis just revealed this. I mean, she might have revealed it as far as her revealing it, but I mean, this is not news to us. I mean, even before Christopher Nelson talked to us about it last year, David Gordon Green himself said back around shortly after the release of Ends that every version of the script, right up until shooting, did end at the Silver Shamrock factory, the way Lori described. And I don't know if he went completely into detail with the Michael coming out there under it. You know, I can't remember if he went that far to say that part of it, but he did say that the Silver Shamrock ending was part of it. And then when I talked to Christopher Nelson last year, about a year ago, here on Michael Myers Monday Live, he confirmed all of that and went further into all of their plans. And it was just so funny because I replayed that clip last week, 1 week ago while we were here, and then in the 7 days since, it was like that story went everywhere, except it was the Jamie Lee Curtis quote. I had to chime in on a few comment threads and just to remind people that, yeah, this is it's not exactly news to us here at Triple M. We're at HDN, right? But again, check out that full interview with Christopher if you haven't. So much good stuff in there, in that. All right, checking in real quick in the live chat, David Hyam, fantastic pics. Yeah, those photos that Ryan shared are just unbelievable. Some really good stuff. Jason agrees. Yeah, I mean, all those shots. That's why I wanted to share with you guys. I was like, holy, this is amazing stuff. And he has shared so much stuff just over the years um, that I've never seen anybody else share. Just really candid, really cool moments from those sets. All right, we do have, I think, one more quick news item. We knew this was coming, of course. NECA is just totally killing it with their Ultimate Michael Myers figures. And, we just recently talked about the Ultimate Curse of Michael Myers figure, and then it was the Ultimate H2O, and we knew that the Ultimate Resurrection was next up, and now he is here, out for pre-order right now, $38. The Ultimate 7-inch scale Michael Myers from Halloween Resurrection. And you gotta love the accessories as always. NECA always kills it with the accessories. And with this one, some really cool accessories. The one they are missing, though, of course, is the Busta Rhymes head. They need a third head, a third mask, to be technically Freddy wearing the Michael masks. When we get into our discussion tonight, that of course is going to be one of the scenes and one of the characters we're going to be talking about. Um, but but yeah, that's the only thing it's missing. I'm surprised they didn't give us a third mask, but they do give us the burnt mask that's kind of burned to his flesh from the very final scene. A couple of different hands, which is always good. I like the pumpkin. I'm glad that we get a pumpkin. They usually give us a pumpkin with these figures, and I like that. And I especially really like Laurie's doll with the nail through the eye. I love that. That's one of the accessories they included. And then look over here to the left. That is an addition to your assortment of knives and clean knives and bloody knives and so forth. That is the tripod. That's right. If you'll recall, Resurrection has quite a few memorable deaths. I know there's plenty of things we could all probably say that we don't love about Resurrection, but there are some things to love about it, and one of them is the creativity of Michael in this film, and one of the best and most creative has to be Death by Tripod, and we get that tripod all splattered with blood as well, which what a cool accessory to have. So let's look at some of these promo shots here. I mean, the mask looks dead on. I mean, it looks honestly kind of better in these photos than it does in the film. But there he is, hanging upside down, just hanging around. So many points of articulation. I don't know the number right offhand, but these Ultimate figures, they are so posable. And you can recreate so many of these scenes. And there he is holding that tripod. Yeah, I love that. And the mask looks great right there in that shot. Looks insanely good. I mean, that almost looks more like the Busta Rhymes mask. I mean, you can see his eyes through there. It's not the blackest eyes. So you could technically, I guess, consider this a Freddy mask too. And so there he is. And again, he's up for pre-order right now. I did put a link where you can pre-order him from Entertainment Earth. He is currently estimated to begin shipping in January of 2026. And one more thing we got to talk about before getting into our big discussion. One more newsworthy bite to snack on here. Today, October 13th, 2025, is in fact the anniversary of the original theatrical release of Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, released in theaters on October 13th, 1989. And here's the original poster. One of my personal all-time favorite posters, if we're judging just the Michael Myers, just the posters from this franchise. I mean, the first two, the first three are great. The first four, they're all great. But I love this one because it brings, it's basically, half of it is basically the H4 poster, but it brings Jamie Lloyd into it. And again, it's we could talk for days about how ironic it is that they use this mask, which is not the mask featured in the movie, and they have Jamie Lloyd wearing her clown outfit from H4, which of course she doesn't wear. She's not wearing in H5, but in any case, kick-ass poster. So to celebrate H5, I wanted to pull a clip from when we had Jeffrey Landman on here on Michael Myers Monday Live last year. I got a little behind on some other things, had some other stuff had to do today, so I didn't have time to pull that clip. I'm going to do that, though, maybe for next week. But to satiate your H5 celebration tonight, I do have a very brief clip of the great Don Shanks from H45, the Men Behind the Mask panel, talking about his favorite kill from H5, and spoiler, it's one that didn't make the movie. It was a deleted scene. Check it out.
I had one that didn't show up until just a couple of years ago where I killed Dr. Death. And when I get out of the river and I'm on the slab for a year, and he does the tattoo on me, which is eternal life or whatever. But on Halloween, above me was this rock with a point on it, right? And it was moving. And when I come back to life, the rock stopped. And he comes over to me, I grab him by the throat, pick him up, break his back, throw him on the altar, and I put the rock through his chest. That was kind of favorite. They just now put it back in, that I've heard. I haven't seen it.
Hey, everybody. Now, many different designs are available, many different styles, colors, all sizes, including the original HDN Classic, our special Triple M Crew design for the Michael Myers Monday regulars out there, and our brand new What Would John Carpenter Do design. All of these are available, like I said, multiple sizes, colors, and styles on t-shirts. And that's not all. We've got other merch available, like mugs and stickers and lots of other cool stuff. Check it out now at the merch link in the description of this video. All right, we are back live. Is Michael Myers Monday, October 13th, 2025. No need to adjust your sets. We interrupt your regularly scheduled primetime viewing. It is, in fact, 9:08 p.m. Eastern here on the East Coast. A little bit earlier than our traditional late night slot. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. So that's the news for this week. Relatively slow news week. I don't know that we're going to have anything bigger than that game release date and gameplay footage announcement and trailer drop that we got a few weeks ago. Between now and October 31st. I don't know. I mean, there's 2 more Mondays to go. A little less than 3 weeks, so anything could happen. Maybe we get some news that doesn't have to do with the game. I don't know. I mean, your guess is as good as mine at this stage where this franchise is going to go. But that is the news. Now, we're going to get into tonight's main discussion, one that I've wanted to do for a while. You know, we looked a few weeks ago at all of the times in the Halloween franchise films where Michael Myers wore a different mask, a mask other than his main mask, the shape mask, right? Well, tonight we're doing something similar, but a different spin on it. We're removing Michael from it, looking at it the other way. Every time in these films where a character, any character other than Michael, put the mask on. And there's been quite a few times. In fact, it has it's happened in almost every single movie at some point, somewhere. Believe it or not. All right. I'm gonna need just about a minute or two to pull this up. What we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna play a pre-recorded message asking you to consider becoming a channel member. It's just $5 a month, and you get early access to a ton of our pre-recorded videos, interviews, and other cool perks. 2 minutes, and then I'll be back with our discussion of all the characters that had the balls to try on the Shape's mask, with or without the Shape's permission. And we'll see how it fared for them, how it turned out for them. Check it out. If you love Halloween, more importantly, if you live Halloween every single day of your life, then you are absolutely in the right place right here on the Halloween Daily News YouTube channel. And the most direct way that you can help out and support what we do here at Halloween Daily News is by becoming a channel member. There's just one tier. It's just $5 a month. You get early access to our exclusive interviews, a lot of our exclusive pre-recorded content. Channel members also get access to exclusive merch discounts and many videos not made available to the public. There's also going to be members only exclusive live events, giveaways, and lots more killer perks you can learn more about in the membership tab. It's basically like Patreon, except here on YouTube. I urge you to consider it. We've got a really awesome, amazing, growing community in there already, and I invite you to become a part of it. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching, and thank you for considering becoming an HDN channel member. All right, we are back live. Michael Myers Monday, October 13th, 2025. Jason says H5 was the first film of the franchise that he saw back in 1990 when it was released on video. Good times. David says, wondering what's going on with the Halloween TV series. You and me too, man. I was expecting some kind of update before now. We might get something this month, but I do not know at this point. Fall Guy says, trying to think what they are. Oh, talking about all the times when other people have tried on Michael's mask. All right, well, let's get into that. Yes. Now, Michael Myers, as we all know, does not like to be without his mask, but there's actually, believe it or not, a pretty rich tradition within the Halloween movies of other characters trying on Michael's mask from time to time. And it doesn't always end too well for them. But we're going to take a look at those every time that we've rounded up where this has happened. And it has happened pretty much in some way in just about each of the movies, almost all of the movies at some point. So we're going to start with a flashback all the way back to 1978, but not just to the 1978 film. We're flashing all the way back to Halloween 1963. That's right. The first time any character ever inconceivably picked up Michael Myers' mask and had the gall to put it to their face on film in any of these films was in that opening scene. Before we've even seen Michael, before we've even seen Michael put on his iconic clown mask, it is actually Judith's boyfriend, Steve, who first picks up that iconic clown mask and playfully puts it on his face. After Judith says, "Oh, Michael's around somewhere," and they're all flirting. This is the moment right here. This is Judith's boyfriend putting on Michael's mask. They then go flirtingly up the stairs, and he takes the mask in his hand as they go, ends up dropping it at the top of the stairs, only to be picked up by young Michael not long after that. And Steve, of course, actually lives to tell the tale, you know? I mean, whatever happened to Steve? Somebody needs to revisit that character. But, yeah, unlike so many characters that tried on Michael's mask, Steve got away with it. He survived. But could it be said that maybe Judith would be alive if Steve hadn't touched Michael's mask? Maybe it was this moment that actually set young Michael off. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. But that is far from the only time that somebody else has tried on Michael's mask, or one of Michael's masks, or even a Michael-esque mask. And that brings us to the 1981 sequel, Halloween 2. And of course, no discussion about, I don't want to say imposter Myers, but no discussion of characters wearing a Michael Myers mask not being Michael Myers is complete without perhaps the most iconic one of all. The great, the late great, the tragic Ben Tramer from Halloween 2. Rocking his insanely, wildly blonde Michael Myers hair mask. It's like a California surfer Michael Myers hairdo, maybe. Poor Ben Tramer, though. And again, if he hadn't been wearing that mask, if he had been wearing any mask other than that particular one, Ben Tramer might still be with us. R.I.P. Ben Tramer. Justice for Ben Tramer, right? All right, so that brings us to Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Yes, the one without Michael Myers, you're thinking. So surely no one in this film wears a Michael Myers mask. And okay, well, yeah, that's probably technically true. I mean, it is technically true, but it's also technically true that Michael is actually in the film. It's just in a very meta way before meta was even a thing. Silver Shamrock was like the first meta film, if you ask me, because they put a commercial for John Carpenter's Halloween, the movie, airing on TV in Season of the Witch. So in Season of the Witch, Michael Myers is a character. Halloween is a movie. John Carpenter is a director. And so in that sense, when Chalice is looking at this TV set in the film and we're all seeing Michael Myers in Halloween 3, it being so meta, what we're looking at is in fact not Michael Myers, but we're looking at actually an actor named Nick Castle playing a character named Michael Myers in a 1978 film that exists in our real world and also happens to exist in Season of the Witch. So, follow my logic here. Trust me, it makes sense. If you're me anyway. What we're looking at is, in fact, a character named Nick Castle as an actor who is portraying Michael Myers. So it is somebody else other than Michael Myers wearing the Michael Myers mask. Maybe not the same as these other ones we're going to talk about, but that's our Season of the Witch reference. Now, let's talk about Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. Because it was the return of Michael Myers in such a big way. And one of the coolest scenes in Halloween 4 is when not one, but 3 different characters, we're going to call them the pranksters, are each seen wearing Michael Myers masks. Remember, this is the same film where we see the mask hanging in the drugstore as Jamie Lloyd's looking for her clown costume. We see Michael grab it and put it on, just grab it out. So by now, 10 years later, these masks, they're being sold in stores. And here, this was always one of my favorite scenes in H4 because it's Loomis and they're actually, Sheriff Meeker is with him, and for a minute they're thinking this is Michael, and then they see this other one show up. Like, this is the first one they see, and then they see this guy over here by this trash can, another guy, and he kind of walks up by Loomis, and by now, as a viewer, if you've never seen this before, the first time watching it, it's a pretty wild scene to see, because for a minute you're thinking, well, this, is this going to be some cult of Myers or something? And then we even get a third one that comes up on this other side of them. He's never in focus, but he's right over there. And it's just this cool little sequence of just what the hell is happening here. And then, of course, Loomis goes to fire his gun, and that's when they all take off their masks. And this guy takes off his, and they each do, and they run away. And they're kind of laughing. And so we've got, Prankster, there's 3, there's number 2, and there's number 1. Prankster 1 here, 2, and 3. So that's at least 3 more characters right there in Halloween 4 that are clearly seen donning the iconic shape mask. And then, of course, 1 year later, 1989, brings us Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. And again, it's the same. It's just a year later, so those masks are still out there, and kids are still being kids, because in Halloween 5, you'll recall the character Spitz even puts on the jumpsuit, puts on the Myers mask. He comes running out of the party acting like he's stabbing. Again, the cops threaten to shoot him. He takes off his mask and goes running off toward the barn with Samantha. By this time, it's not even just anonymous pranksters. They take that prankster idea, and now it's one of the primary characters in the film, Spitz himself, blatantly wearing the Michael Myers costume. But considering what happens to him a few minutes later, I mean, he kind of has the best night of his life with Samantha, followed by the end of it all. And what a way to go when Michael comes down with the pitchfork right through him, and he starts bleeding out all over top of her. Such an iconic, gory, cool, visceral scene in H5. One of my favorite moments in H5. And again, that's a recurring thing here. I've talked about it before. I love whenever Michael is seen wearing a mask other than his main one. Same here. I love whenever we see a different character wearing the Michael Myers mask. I usually love it. 99% of the time. So that's H5. Then we move into Curse. And maybe not a whole lot of wearing of the mask. No real pranksters here, at least not in the early parts of the film. But that doesn't mean that it's not without, because watch this. First of all, we get this, which is not a person wearing a Michael mask, but I always liked this he's coming statue / decoration / I guess graffiti that the neighborhood kids put out at the Myers house. So again, not a person wearing the mask, but it's still the mask featured on something other than Michael. And of course, we have all these great scenes. This is during my favorite scene in that whole film in Curse, when Mrs. Blankenship is kind of telling her the story of Halloween, and not wearing the Michael mask, but we actually see characters. This is something we'd never seen in the films before, carrying around these signs, Michael is alive, and similar signage like that, just on Halloween. It is the curse of Michael Myers, though, and in this one, clearly the curse has spread. But in the curse of Michael Myers, at the end, the producer's cut end of the movie, there is a character that dons the iconic shape mask, and that character is, of course, Dr. Wynn, aka the Man in Black. In the producer's cut, it is a very different ending from the theatrical ending. In the producer's cut, it doesn't just end with Loomis walking back in to find Michael gone. It ends with Loomis walking back in to find who he thinks is Michael lying on the floor here. He goes down, speaking to Michael. He goes down, takes the mask off, and it is revealed to be Dr. Wynn, aka the Man in Black, the leader of the Cult of Thorn. And of course, Michael has put on the Man in Black outfit, and he rolls on out of that movie in a totally different look. This producer's cut is wild. Both cuts are insane. Curse, other than Season of the Witch, this was the most controversial and debated and divisive film in the franchise to date, easily, up until when this one was released. And, either cut you watch, they're wildly different. And it's funny, the areas that they're not different, that they're the same. It's wild seeing where they go different. And, when I interviewed Daniel Farrens, he said, and I believe he's right, that the perfect movie is somewhere in between. It doesn't exist. It's not either of them. It's some combination of them that doesn't exist and was never made, unfortunately. But what a wild ending. So there is our one shot in Curse, when another character is definitely wearing Michael's mask. Then we go into H2O. Halloween H2O. In some ways, kind of a return to form. It kind of felt like, because you had Jamie Lee Curtis back, but really not. It was Halloween doing Scream in a lot of ways, with the Kevin Williamson involvement, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love H2O. I love Kevin Williamson. And but it was very much a Scream Halloween movie in a lot of ways. Also, one of the rare Halloween movies that took place not in Haddonfield. At least mostly not in Haddonfield. It has a little bit in Haddonfield, but mostly doesn't take place in Haddonfield. But All that said, you're thinking, well, when was there ever a shot in there of somebody wearing Michael's mask other than Michael? Well, there was a shot. It's just that we didn't know at the time that it was somebody else other than Michael. We didn't know until Resurrection came out that the end of the movie, if you go by Resurrection's timeline, the end of the movie, this scene right here, Michael Myers kind of feeling around like, what is this on my head? What is this mask? Reaching out like as if to ask for help. We didn't know at the time. We thought it was just some weird reaction Michael was having to being crushed by a van against a tree. But we come to learn in that opening of Resurrection, of course, that, oh no, that was never Michael. That was a paramedic that Michael had put his mask on. So, yet another character gets to wear Michael's mask. And for yet another character, it does not go well for them at all. Even though he is just begging Laurie for help. Just can't talk because Michael chopped his tongue out. All right, so let's move into Resurrection. Now, easily one of the most divisive films in the franchise. Everybody has opinions on it. But one of the most unforgettable scenes has to be this moment here. When Busta Rhymes' character of Freddy puts on the Michael Myers mask, the whole outfit, and he starts walking through the Myers house. And then, without warning, we see another shape following him. This, of course, is the actual shape. This is Michael Myers. This is Brad Laree playing the Michael Myers. But what happens in this scene is this very surreal moment where we don't know what's going to happen. And then, of course, what happens is Busta Rhymes starts chewing out Michael Myers, talking through the mask. Very disrespectful of the shape, if you ask me. But that's another matter. I'm not here to debate the creative decisions of the film, other than to say Freddy definitely needed to pay worse than he paid. He needed to go down for this. It's a hilarious scene to watch. Don't get me wrong. It's damn hilarious. And definitely unexpected. But when I watch Resurrection, I prefer the on the DVD. I think I've told you guys on the DVD. There's actually an alternate cut where it is found footage. It is all cut from the footage that the characters filmed because those cameras were real that they have in the movie. So in essence, it cuts out the whole Laurie Strode stuff in the beginning, which I never really cared for that part much. You know, I like the H2O ending with that being Michael, but it's not if we include that. So I would always kind of prefer not to include that and just watch it as a found footage. It's a totally different way to watch it. You should watch it on the DVD if you never have. It's a cool bonus feature they have on there. Also, there is a deleted ending, alternate ending for the film, which I prefer much better. In which the character of Decker is actually the hero that saves Sarah, and Freddy gets what I think is the justice he has coming to him. But you can give me your thoughts on this. Easily one of the most divisive films in the franchise. This, probably one of the most divisive scenes in the franchise. But without a doubt, Freddy, one of the few characters to don the Michael Myers mask and survive through the credits. He's pretty happy with himself right about now, I think. So that brings us now to Rob Zombie's Halloween, the 2007 remake. And this is a great callback to the original. Who was the first person to ever put on Michael's mask other than Michael? Even before Michael? Well, it was Judith's boyfriend, Steve, putting on the clown mask in that opening scene of 78. So here, all these years later, 2007, it's not the opening scene, but when we finally get to Judith and her boyfriend, again named Steve, in this film, it is Steve that again puts on Michael's mask before Michael can. Only this time it's not the clown mask. Michael's already been wearing the clown mask for a while in this version. This time, Steve gets to put on the mask first. The shape mask. This one, Wayne Toth's. This one over here, Wayne Toth's iconic Michael Myers shape mask. And he puts it on, and Judith's like, "What are you doing? Take that thing off." And she kind of hits him, and he's like, "I want to do it with the mask on," remember? And then it ends up he being just left there. They do their thing. He goes down for a snack, and then, of course, Daig, our buddy Daig, as young Michael picks it up later, and there's a very jarring sequence of young Michael wearing now, not the clown, but the full-size mask, which, again, is very surreal and very cool. But that's a case of Michael wearing Michael. But again, fascinating to me, and a cool detail that it's Steve, Judith's boyfriend, in both versions of Halloween, that puts on a version of Michael's mask before Michael even ever does in that film. But that's not all who messed with Michael's mask in the remake. In the director's cut now, because the escape scene in the theatrical cut is very different. The escape scene in the theatrical cut, of course, features the Devil's Rejects as the prison guards. And Michael breaks out by taking out the Devil's Rejects. In the director's cut, we have Lou Temple's character here. And he and the other Smith's Grove guard, they come in, they grab this girl out of her cell, and for whatever reason, they decide that not only do they want to have their way with her, but they want to do that in Michael's cell, because they think that's fun. That's going to be fun. Not just destroying this girl, but let's go do it in Michael's cell. Needless to say, when Michael finally gets up and takes him out, there's a little sympathy, and it's a great moment. Like, I'm literally cheering for Michael in this moment. But if you watch the scene closely, Michael takes no notice of anything they're doing with that poor girl throughout that scene. And everything they're saying to him, everything they're doing, one of them even smacks him upside the head at one point. He takes no notice of that. It's when this happens. When they pick up his masks. Remember, his whole cell is wallpapered with all his paper mache masks. This is Lou Temple picking up the mask. You see the other character, he also picks up mask, and they start putting on his masks that he made. And it's that moment that he gets up. It's that moment that he takes them out. And from there, he starts walking. He walks through Danny Trejo, even though he was good to him. He walks through Smith's Grove, and he walks right back home to Haddonfield. And that starts the whole thing there. It's not them bringing that girl in there. It's them touching his damn masks. But that's not all. Because Rob Zombie, of course, returned for a sequel called Halloween 2, in which Michael spent probably the most time he's ever spent on screen unmasked. That was crazy. But then, in the closing moments of the theatrical cut now, not the director's cut, which this is one where I definitely recommend the director's cut when it comes to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I recommend the director's cut. I actually like the director's cut ending better, but the theatrical ending was very shocking and memorable to me, and really just unforgettable and seared in my brain for one big reason, and it's this. Laurie Strode wearing Michael Myers' mask at the end of H2. This moment when she comes out and she's still wearing her bloodied Rocky Horror costume, but she put his mask on it. It reminded me of when we saw Daig put the oversized white mask on in the beginning of '07. Such a weird image. So freaky. Just so wild. Disturbing. Unexpected. Weird. Which are all ways that I would describe this movie as a whole. Again, for me personally, I prefer the director's cut of this one, which doesn't have this ending. But this ending shocked me, just this imagery more than anything, and it is yet another moment of a character other than Michael Myers wearing Michael's mask. All right, so that brings us to the most recent films, the three most recent films from David Gordon Green and Blumhouse and Universal. So that brings us to Halloween 2018, and we can't talk about that, and we can't talk about people putting on Michael's mask without talking about this guy. Yeah, no discussion of somebody stealing Michael's mask and trying it on is complete without the illustrious Dr. Sartain. The illustrious, the insane, maybe, Dr. Sartain. I don't know about you guys, but the first time I saw this scene in theaters, I didn't know what to think. It was, again, to say shocking, unexpected, it blew me away. It was such a jarring, like, what is happening here? Where are they going with this? And then it didn't really go very far with any of it. And Sartain, again, got his justice for touching Michael's mask. This is the same film, too, where it was really, in a lot of ways, I think, the mask that really brings Michael back in a lot of ways. When of course, Aaron and Dana show up at Smith's Grove, and they're not taunting him, but they're definitely trying to put it in his face. And even though he doesn't really react then and there with it, I think in a lot of ways, it gets the blood flowing a little bit for the shape. Now, with Halloween Kills, this is actually, to my research, the only film where nobody actually puts on Michael's mask other than Michael. But we do have this iconic scene of Karen taking Michael's mask. She doesn't put it on. That might be what Rob Zombie would have done at that moment. But she takes it and says, "Come and get it," which he does. So that's as close as we get in Kills. Nobody wearing it, but still, somebody got to get their hands on it and use it for bait. And then that brings us, last but of course not least, to the tragic tale of one Corey Cunningham in the 13th and most recent Halloween film. It's called Halloween Ends. You know this. Corey Cunningham literally goes into the cave, fights Michael Myers, takes Michael's mask, puts it on, and kind of becomes Michael for a little while. Until Michael comes and wants his mask back, which inevitably will happen. And then that very mask, of course, ends up ultimately with Laurie Strode. And it's almost a weird, eerie callback to that Rob Zombie H2 ending in a weird way. She never puts it on, but she's there. She's happy, but then she's also saying in the book that evil never dies. It just changes shape. We can talk about what all that may or may not mean forever, but Corey Cunningham putting on Michael's mask, unlike anybody before him. Yeah, I mean, we saw people do it to prank others. We saw people do it mostly to prank others. We saw some people do it to scare others. But we never saw anybody do it quite like Corey did. Literally becoming the shape. Different boots, though. You can see here, different boots. Doesn't have the exact same iconic black boots as the shape does, but all right, so there you go. That's our roundup of every time any character in the Halloween movies, other than Michael Myers, decided to put on Michael Myers' mask. Now, we might have missed some, and if so, I look to you now to let us know. Who did we miss? And of these, what of these moments had you forgotten about? What of these moments are some of your favorite moments? What of these moments are your least favorite moments? Do you like these moments when other characters try on the Shapes mask? Do you find it disrespectful? Do you dislike it when they do that? Are you ready to see him stomp their skull like a grape the way he did Sartain? I think I know how some of you guys feel. I want to hear from you guys in the comments below on everything we've talked about here in the live chat here tonight on Michael Myers Monday Live. Which of those got your brain going and said, oh yeah, I forgot about that moment? And which did I miss? What did we forget? There's got to be some other instances in there. Is there something from Kills that I'm missing, that I'm forgetting? Because I think that's the only one. Did you understand my logic with Nick Castle wearing the mask in H3? I think if anybody can, you guys can. So that's been one of the topics I've wanted to discuss for a while. So now I'm going to turn over here to the live chat and see what you guys are saying. And that's what we're going to do for the next couple weeks. If there's not huge news, if we've got some news bites like we did tonight, but not like a big overriding story, then I've got a few other topics like this that we can dig into just for fun. So now I'm going to jump over here into the live chat. Jason says they should keep their hands off Michael's mask. Yes, the 2018 mask is such an amazing sculpt. Mr. Nelson did great work in that trilogy. Yes, he did. Yes, I agree on all that. Christopher Nelson's a genius. His work was amazing, and I love the 2018 mask still. David says Halloween Rob Zombie Tyler May was brutal. Michael Myers, wow, yeah, so brutal. Jonathan has checked in. What's up, man? This comment section has the most positive Halloween fans I've seen online. It's great to see. Well, thank you, man. Yes, we. That means a lot. Yes. I don't like. I don't like negative fans. I don't know what. We try to keep it positive here, and we do have the best community in our comments in our live chat of any online horror community. If you ask me, certainly any Michael Myers community. Yeah, our group is awesome. This crew is awesome. And yeah, so thank you for being here, and thank you for saying that, man. That means a lot, because yeah, we do see a lot of just negative comments all the time elsewhere, and here, like I always say, it's not that there are things that we couldn't bitch about and whine about and complain about and talk about things we dislike all the time, but it's much more fun, I think, and productive to celebrate. I'm more concerned with celebrating the things I do like and love about this franchise. Um, and just laughing about the rest, because some of it is so laughable. So thank you, Jonathan. Great comment. I appreciate that. See, now you're bringing the positivity, man. You're part of it. David says, love H2O, especially when Michael, someone else was playing him, which was the paramedic. Yes. Fall Guy says, 5 feels very summery to me, but I do like the last third of it. Need them fall vibes. Yes. Which do come in the last several scenes. Yes, I agree. It does feel, especially coming after H4, which really nailed the fall vibes so much. David likes Halloween 5. Fall Guy says, R.I.P. Ben Tramer. Jenny is checked in. What's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Glad you could be here. Tim is here as well. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Jason says Steve's the reason why Michael turned out the way he did. He wore his mask without permission. Yeah, I think we unlocked it. That yeah, it was never about like seeing Judith make out with this guy. It was that this guy touched his mask. I think so. I think that started the whole thing. And that's the one character. There was speculation that maybe Blumhouse and David Gordon Green would revisit that character of Judith's boyfriend somewhere in these films. It's kind of amazing that they didn't. We met him at age 40, David Kyle. It was his only convention appearance, I believe. Still his only, I think. But yeah, we met him there. He played Steve. I think it might be his only movie role. I don't think he stayed in the business. Jenny says, thought of me when saw Michael Myers in the Halloween decorations. Oh, yes. Well, good. Good. Glad that I can share brain space with the shape. Fall Guys asking if the British podcast guy put on the mask. Aaron and Pat are another one of our illustrious channel members. Pat, that Halloween movie collector, reminds us he did in a deleted scene. Yes, I do remember a deleted scene when Dana was in the shower, and I think you're right. Is Aaron wearing that mask in that scene? I forgot about that. I think you're totally right. So that's another one. Again, it's a deleted scene. Not technically a director's cut, but good call, Pat. I forgot about that one. Is that what I'm thinking of? It's the Dana's in the shower. It's on the Blu-ray in the deleted scenes, and it's like a false scare, and it's him. And I had forgotten about that, but yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but he actually puts on the mask at that point. E-Tech says, is there going to be a new Halloween Michael Myers movie? Well, the easy answer is yes, of course. There will definitely be another new Michael Myers movie. The real question, though, is when. And Yeah, I can't say when at this point. Um, I still think they're going to do the TV series first, but here's the thing: that Crystal Lake TV series is moving right along, and that's something else. I wouldn't be surprised if this month they kind of co-opt that Halloween for that show and make some big news and announcements on that. Maybe a premiere date early next year for that. I think that'd be really cool. And I was thinking about it because the Friday 13th series is going on, and if Halloween were to come out with their TV series right now or start announcing things right now, think about it. What would general audiences say? Now, we know this has been in development for years, but general audiences that don't follow this stuff as tight as we do, a lot of people would just say, well, it's just, of course, they're doing Crystal Lake, so of course Halloween's going to do Haddonfield, you know, Elm Street will do Elm Street next. And that's the way it would look to a lot of just general audiences. So it has occurred to me that they might have purposely kind of cooled the engines a bit on the TV series, especially as things were ramping up on this video game side. I don't know that to be fact at all. That is pure just speculation and just thoughts that I'm thinking out loud and have thought in recent weeks to myself. But you guys chime in on that and tell me what you think. Okay, Pat says yes. Dana is in the shower. They make it like a scene from Psycho. Yes, and then Aaron is actually wearing the mask for a minute. So there you go. That's another instance of another character who actually wore the mask. Deleted scene, yes. Not in an alternate cut. I think I still got all the ones in the theatrical or official alternate cuts. But yes, thank you, Pat. That is another one I missed in the deleted scenes of 2018. All right, so what else, guys? That's a good catch. What other ones did I miss? Even in a deleted scene that isn't in the actual cut of the film, something like that I might have missed. That's a good one. I did. I forgot about that. But yeah, there were so many. Like when I started thinking about it, because I there were some obvious ones, and then but preparing for this, um, yeah, seeing that there really is something from just about every movie except for kills, but um, Jason says maybe they're holding off to see how Crystal Lake performs before they jump into the TV series. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Crystal Lake has anything to do with it. I just think from a marketing standpoint, from a general it's going to look like. Look, when Rob Zombie's Halloween remake came out, it was '07. By the time his sequel came out in '09, we had already had the Friday 13th remake earlier in '09. You know what I mean? And so it to general audiences, it was like, well, of course, this is going to come after. This is going to, they're going to see the success of that, and it's going to come after. And that's just the way it goes with anything. But in this case, they might not want to be seen as like copying Crystal Lake or something like that. Especially if, and think about this. This is something else I've thought of. It's possible, like we don't know how much work has been done on this TV series behind the scenes. We did hear months ago that there was shuffling behind the scenes at Miramax, and that the former head of Miramax, Mark Helwig, who was going to be kind of the head guy there working with Malik on the series, is no longer at Miramax. So, but does that mean the entire project stops? Somebody else is involved? I don't know. But what we might know is what we do know is Crystal Lake and what they're doing there. It is a prequel. It is going to be set in the 70s. If they were thinking something similar, like what I had said, how cool would it be to set it in 1963 and make 10 episodes all about Judith and Steve, her boyfriend, and keep young Michael but lead all up to that first night in 63. Introduce our young Loomis, and then you've got 15 years of storytelling you could tell through all the years in Smith's Grove. You could jump around times every season. You could recast and do 5 years down the road. That was something I threw out here. If they were thinking anywhere along those lines, they might now seeing Crystal Lake say, okay, well, this is going to be a little too close to that. We need to retool things. I have no idea if that's what's going on. I have no clue whatsoever. But it could be something like that. Seriously, because I have thought about that. Because when they started talking about this TV series, they were also talking about a Friday the 13th TV series. But to me, at the time, it seemed totally conceivable that the Halloween series was definitely going to be moving faster and get off the ground quicker than the Crystal Lake series. But as things have turned out, that's not the case at all. The Crystal Lake series, their film, they've been filming. They might have wrapped by now. And yeah, I think we're going to be getting news very soon about a premiere date for that. And I'm stoked on that. I'll be honest with you. I'm glad A24 didn't get the Halloween series. And I don't know that they're a good fit for Friday the 13th, but I'm all for giving it a chance. More so with Friday the 13th than I would be risking Halloween. Like, if they kill it, no pun intended, with Friday the 13th, then yeah, maybe, what they could do with Halloween could be awesome. But I'm definitely looking forward to that series for sure. So anyway, all right, guys. I'm gonna jump over and do a couple quick shout outs and then get out of here. You guys have been awesome tonight. Jenny says Buster did a good job wearing Michael's mask. He made it funny. Yes. I mean, it's funny. When I finally showed my son that film, his first ever viewing, because he had seen the others, and he kind of knew that was a lot of people's least favorite. And he watched it, and when he got done, I was like, what do you think? And he said he loved it because it was hilarious. He's like, you got to watch it like a comedy. And if you watch it like a comedy, it's great. So that's one way to watch it. Or do what I said. Watch that found footage cut. It's a really cool cut. Even if you want to include the Laurie Strode stuff, watch the Laurie Strode opening and then stop. Watch the rest of the stuff with the kids and everybody in the house just as the found footage. You still get all the kills. It's just a really unique way to do it. It's pretty cool. All right, let's do some shout outs real quick. You guys know what's up. Michael Myers Monday. Use the hashtag. Tag us on your social of choice, and you never know, you might get featured right here. Always pick out just a couple random ones. We had some entertaining dancing Michaels show up on the Tick of the Talk today. Check this out. This is one of them posted today from posted by Nightmare Yoga. Ring out those toxins, sweetie pie, they say. And it says, you're not a monster. You just have to wring out your spine and stretch out your hips. That's pretty funny. Another one from TikTok. Another, believe it or not, dancing Myers. This one posted by You Made This. And it says, Happy Monday, guys. I mean, this is a very happy Michael Myers. I love that they got the knife, too. Strategically placed in the back. Michael getting down. And one more, excuse me, one more from TikTok, posted today by Angel Lovett, reminding us it's Monday right now. Yeah, it's Monday. Michael Myers Monday. Let's jump over to Threads. Our friend Tyler Main posting. He always posts on Michael Myers Monday. Today he posted, some people say Michael Myers has red flags. I just see a 6'8" man with a strong sense of purpose, consistent sense of style, unwavering loyalty to family, years of therapy, the ability to listen, and he's great around a kitchen knife. Yeah, around a kitchen ... knife. What do you love about Michael? Happy Michael Myers Monday, only 18 days till Halloween. Hell yes. And there's the meme he posts, tall, dark, committed, hard worker, family man, what's not to love? Well, we love Tyler for sure. How awesome is that? Jumping over to the gram, this one posted by the Shape NC. I thought maybe you were just the boogeyman. No, you're just a man who's about to stop breathing. That's a great line from Ends. And look at that gorgeous Ends mask. I bet he started with one of our Sugar Treat Studios masks, and then went to work on it and made it this masterpiece. That is badass. And one more. She didn't hashtag Michael Myers Monday, but I just had to share it. Our friend Danielle Harris, the great Danielle Harris, on Instagram, sharing this throwback from the set of Halloween 4. Jamie Lloyd in her Jamie Lloyd clown costume. You got the mask right there, everything. I don't think I've ever seen this picture, not that I remember. And she captions it. This is so cool. She captions it, "My Happy Place." Very cool. All right. We'll keep the conversation going, guys. If you watch this on a replay, drop us some comments below on our roundup of characters that rocked Michael's mask other than Michael. Who got away with it and should have had to pay for it? Who paid for it that maybe you think should have gotten away with it? Want to hear what you think about all of that and all the other news bites that we hit on tonight. I want to thank you guys for hanging out and joining me for another Michael Myers Monday Live. We got 2 more Mondays in the month of October before October 31st, the most hallowed day of the year. And it is my plan, my hope, my intent to be here with you for both of those. Even if we don't have a lot of breaking news and it's a night like tonight, like I said, I've got a kind of a backlog of different topic ideas similar to what we did tonight that I'm excited to talk about. We're going to talk about Michael Myers songs one night. We got all kinds of stuff. Unlikely Haddonfield residents that you might have forgotten about or might not think of when you typically think of people that have been in these movies. They've had a lot of people in these movies that you don't automatically immediately think of when you think of these movies, like Weird Al Yankovic or Dana Carvey, but they're still Halloween alums. So those are the type subjects topics I'm looking at, and but I got a list of them, and I might even put up a poll. I didn't set up a poll for tonight, but I just thought of that. I might do that. Put up a poll, and you guys can help me decide on what the next one will be, or maybe the one after that. We'll see. In any case, stay tuned. Lots of other cool stuff coming. Not just Myers related, of course. All things Halloween. 'Tis the season. It is October 13th, 2025. We got 2 more weeks, almost 3 weeks of October, and we got unboxings and product reviews we're bringing you. We've got new exclusive interviews we're bringing you. All kinds of cool stuff. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting. Thank you all for your discussion tonight here in the live chat. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for just having us on in the background while you're doing your laundry or whatever. We appreciate it. Thank you for just having us on one of your screens, even if you're watching something else. Fall Guy, I hope you're enjoying Night of the Reaper. I thought it was awesome. Even if you're not listening to me right now because the movie's so good, if I'm still on your screen and you're giving us that view, then we love you. And of course, we love you for being a channel member as well. Again, it's just $5 a month. Think about it, guys. All right, subscribe if you haven't. Look for lots more exciting videos and more coming your way right here on HD. And until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night, Haddonfield.